So, I've had a bit of time to think about what the next steps will be in the finishing of this base, which really this base has been mostly a case of too much work and not enough time. Everything I've been trying to do, all of my efforts have been to reduce the amount of time and or effort it will take to finish this base. Now, I have had a few ideas in the time I've been away, but most of those will involve upscaling. We're going to need to upscale gunpowder production, sand production, as well as a few other things. You might be able to see where that's going with those two ingredients specifically, but don't worry about it yet. We'll get to that. But the very first thing I'm going to need to do is find a way to get sand to my base from the end quickly, and really without very many trips. So I've concluded that probably the fastest and easiest way to do so is to dig a 3,000 block tunnel from my base to spawn and set down the entire thing with powered rails. Now, powered rails are cheap because I can duplicate them endlessly. It's been said on the server for a while now that those are one of the few things we're allowed to duplicate, and really the only thing I've figured out how. The other aspect of that will be, well, digging the tunnel. Going over land is possible, but would take many times longer, seeing as I would have to crouch bridge my way all the way to spawn, given that there is a great deal of ocean between here and there. And that is not something I'm particularly excited for. So I'm going to dig a tunnel. And really, that's all there is to it. I've got my torches, I have my pickaxe, I have extra pickaxes in my ender chest, and fire resistance in case things go wrong, which they probably will. And, well, I'm going to time lapse it, see if there's anything interesting that I see on my journey. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so that tunnel is finally done. Almost 3,000 blocks all the way to spawn. Also might have seen in the time lapse I had to do a little bit of experimenting to figure out where the exact spawn was for things that get dropped into the end portal, because it appears something exploded my original setup. This is just a massive crater where that used to be, but I'm sure I can find somewhere to lay the blame on that. But anyway, only other interesting thing of note is I found a not insignificant amount of diamonds while mining. I'm going to go ahead and fortune these and see what I get. Alright, let's see, what is it gonna be? Not bad. Actually, no, that is really bad. I had started with 55 ore, and with Fortune 3 I should have multiplied it by 2.5, but I only got barely double. Yeah, that's really unlucky. Funny to say a stack and 50 diamonds is unlucky, but and these what it is. Make these into blocks, and I'm gonna call it a night. That tunnel was quite a pain. Anyway, I'll be back with the next segment, which will be no. Where's F5 is hard. All right, let's see. This one? No, that's an anvil. No, not that one. Yeah, there we go. This is the next step. Well, this and a bunch of levers that I need, but I'll be getting to that soon. Alright, so as you can see here, it worked, kind of, after a fashion. It took a few modifications and a lot of headache for this little rail system to actually properly be able to transport more than one minecart at a time. I originally had attempted to pile them all onto the same rail and then send them all at once. However, while this did work and while this would have been ideal, at some point the minecarts just bounced back about 200 blocks down. They just stop going and they turn around and they come back. So I had to split them up. Right now there are 9 minecarts. This is just a bit of a small scale test. But with 9, I was able to get them all sent, follow them down with a minecart of my own, and get them all here without incident. I had to make this little drop off here to allow them to fly off of the end here without being impeded, so that they won't bounce back and go all the way back 3,000 blocks that way. But yeah, all of these have sand. It'll let me in. There we go. See, all these are full of sand. That's 4.5 double chests. I'm going to try to use this to transport as much sand as I can over to this area here. I'm probably going to use this big hole here, which is intended to be kind of a central storage area, because this is the dead center of my base, as you can see from the beacons. But I'll have to see where exactly I need to put them. Right now, I just have these chests over here, which hold some raw materials from the actual mining of this hole. So I'll have to see where these things end up. Now, I did also develop a system in Creative Testing World where I can use minecarts to transport items much farther distances at basically full hopper speeds, to be able to load and unload minecarts to transport items basically wherever. So I'm likely going to use that in conjunction with this hole here in order to bring this sand over to where it's needed, which is that way. Yeah, that way. So I'll be trying to get that set up once as much sand as possible is here, and I'll be providing an update on that later.